Every now and then, you hear of a group that wants to get rid of a historical name, whether it be Churchill, Sir John A. Macdonald, getting rid of all the names in Canada. Well, Gordon Walker is a former cabinet minister, has a sense of history, and he joins me right now because I want to put the question to you. Why do people feel compelled to get rid of names that have been around for years and years and used?
Well, let's begin by saying that at some point in time, somebody thought it important enough to create that name. And if it's a statue, or if it's a building, or if it's a street, for some reason someone thought that was important.
Generally, they were famous and they did good work.
But for us, that is our history in most cases, and we have an ingredient in that history. If it were Egerton Ryerson, well, he created the Ontario public school system and the public library system. I'm a person who's come out of that system. I therefore have a piece of that. And therefore, that is my history, and it was important back then, it's important today.
It's important for someone, for instance, in this public school system, as I went through it, to know who created it and why.
Well, why is it important to have it created in the first place?
You have to ask.
Well, you have to ask that people all the time. But in terms of ourselves, what today? Well, remember, what we are remembering history. If you took history in your schools, don't you remember what you took? And why did you take it? Because it was considered an important ingredient to understand that history. A statue or a street is nothing more than a way of remembering what the history was.
And I learned a lot in life from studying history. I still study history, still read it. So, but also in the schools today, history is pretty well lost.
Yes, that's true. That's a
shame. So are we just going to be, an unnamed generation, in a generation or two, we'll have no idea of how we got here, what we're doing?
Well, sometimes some of the organizations today want you to know about their history, but they don't want you to know about the history that you might have really wanted to know about.
So you put your finger on something that everybody, to a degree, likes history. It's just that they may not like another aspect of history.
Well,
so they want to destroy that. That's
true. Take the word colonialization. Now, frankly, we were created as colonies. That's how this great North American continent was developed, indeed other continents as well, with colonization. What if that colonization had not happened? Well, it would be a rather interesting but-for argument, wouldn't it? Well, now we do have colonization, and some people don't like colonization, whereas the rest of us at least have come from it. That is our history, and you can't change it. It is what it is. That's our history.
That's our history. That's an important lesson. It's a good lesson. Gordon, thank you very much. 3 minutes. Justin Trudeau is now on the record as saying that social media is destabilizing. And he wants to bring in censorship to determine what can be put on and not on social media. That is wrong. Please support this station. And please add your address so I can write you a letter and thank you for supporting freedom of speech.